The reason why I started working out in the first place was because, man, I just had a lot of, I was going through a lot of shit in my life, you know, and I've always like worked out here and there when I was young, but I worked out like BS working out, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you're young, you don't even know what the hell you doing and stuff. You just bored and just trying to do something, and you see people, they look right and this and that, and you trying to look like them, but you don't realize what it really takes and stuff, and then you young, so you can't stick with it. But what really made me like work out and stuff is when I went through a time in my life when it was like one of the roughest times in my life as of now, you know what I'm saying? And the working out would just make the pain not go away, but it'll just make my day easier. You know, it'll make everything easier for me. Like, because I would wake up and I'd wake up with a heavy heart. I'd wake up feeling down. I'd talk to myself down. I'd be depressed. I'd be anxious, you know, and I felt like the world was just about to end. You know, I felt like if my life were to end, if I were to not wake up the next day, I'd be perfectly fine, you know. And some days I felt like I hoping that I didn't wake up the next day, you know. So like working out is what like really made my mind strong and just got me through the hardest times of my life, like doing push-ups, you know. Like it started small. Like at first it'll start small. Like I barely knew how to do push-ups at all. I started to do push-ups on my knees, like half push-ups, and that's really how I started. And then I started doing pull-ups and dips and stuff. But at that time, I was just going through so much that I needed an outlet, you know, and I couldn't keep that shit bottled in. I can't, because if you keep that pain, that anxiety, that depression, everything that you going through in life, you just bound to explode and make a wrong decision, you know. And at that time, I had already did that. So I was like, man, I can't, you know, I gotta find an outlet for this shit, man, because I'm pissed off, you know. I'm feeling depressed, I'm anxious and this and that. So working out would relieve some of that pain and get some of that shit off my chest, you know, because when you wake up a heavy heart and you don't feel like living no more and this and that, it's gonna make you feel better about your life. It's gonna make you feel like you could do this shit, you know, because once you go hard in the workout, it's almost like you take all that negative energy and you just throw it out the window, you know. And that's how I would start my day, man, because, you know, I was being weak, and that was the only thing that I knew that would, you know, that I had to relieve my stress and this and that. Because, you know, I could drink, I could smoke, and that shit will only make me feel good for a little bit. And then until that shit goes away, and then I'm back at square one feeling, you know, how I'm feeling, and then I gotta go chase that again. And, you know, with working out, it was like waking up early and working out, it was like, all right, I'm getting all this shit off my chest, and I'm gonna just try my best to make this day, you know, as good as possible. Like literally as good as possible, because there ain't nothing else I can do. My situation messed up. There's nothing much I could do, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, get this workout in and think positive and keep going. And, you know, I know a lot of people in that position to where it's like, you should just, you know, go get you a little workout, go get you a little run in, go, you know, it don't gotta be with the weights, man. Go run, go do some push-ups, go swim, like just an outlet, man. Sometimes you just need an outlet to let all that shit go. You know, I like to call it get the monkey off my back, you know, because you got the monkey on your back, you know, he's telling you fucked up shit like, man, fuck this and that, and you know, you hate life. And so I get the monkey off my back, like, man, get up off me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go do these pull-ups, I'm gonna go do this little workout, run a little bit, and I'm gonna go eat a decent meal, and then I can think straight, you know. And I always believed in that process, like that morning process is what's gonna set your day up, you know, because you first get up and you get that pump in and you just start, you know, being positive, man, because that monkey will get you, man. That monkey will get you, and you don't want to start your day off like that, you know, as in being negative and this and that, because you're just gonna attract all that, bro. Like when you wake up negative, when you give, like me, listen, this is what I think about the world. Like the world, we just energy. So when you wake up, whatever energy you putting out there is what you gonna get. Obviously, you know, you could be positive and negative stuff's gonna come at you because that's the devil trying to throw you off. But at the same time, if you start off positive, everything's gonna go smoothly, you know. And as long as you know how to, you know, as long as you know how to dodge the ball of negativity, like, you know, when you see somebody coming and they try to throw negative shit at you, and you just like, man, I ain't worried about that. You know, you slip the punch, I ain't worried about that. I'm staying positive. You know, that's what really makes you strong and stuff. And there's a squirrel back there trying to run down on me, man. But anyways, so, you know, I believe in energy because you got to think about it. When you see a person, you could feel somebody's energy sometimes. When you walk in a room, it's all energy. You feel the energy. You be like, man, you know, I walked in that room, everybody was quiet, and it just felt, you know, dead in there. It felt like no energy. Like, bro, that's what the world is energy, bro. You feel that energy off of people. You feel when a person is like, you know, happy and this and that, and you see it on their face, and, you know, excuse me, and they act like, you know, they're happy and they're hanging out and this and that. You feel that energy from somebody, you know. And I believe in that heavily because I always give off that energy, you know. I know, you know, a lot of y'all might not know me, but I'm you know, I tend to motivate people a lot of times because of my energy. I'm like, nah, we gonna get it, bro. We gonna, you know, get right. You gotta eat right. You know, we gonna get this money and this and that. I'm talking positive. So I'm bringing that positive energy flowing through me. You know what I'm saying? Flowing out of me, flowing, and it's flowing into somebody else. You know, I'm pushing it to somebody else. So, and I can see it, you know, I see it in people when I do that. People are like, yeah, bro, I could do it and this and that. It's like, you know, I'm giving you that energy to believe in yourself. And people have done that to me too, you know. So that's how I know that energy's real, bro. Like, it's real. The energy is important, you know what I'm saying? And working out helped me with getting my energy right, bro. As long as your energy's right, there's nothing in the world that's gonna stop you, bro, because you're on a mission, you know what I'm saying? You're on a mission. But my routine in the morning, man, is workout, because I gotta get my mind right first quarter, you know. And it comes to the point where you do it so much that you just get used to it, you know. You get used to working out. You need that pump. Like, when I don't work out, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. My energy sucks. I feel off. It just sucks, bro. It really does suck. Like, I can't explain it any better than that. It's just whack, you know. And I wake up and I'm like, damn, you know, I feel like I just don't feel that motivated. But when I wake up, I hit the gym, you know, I eat a good meal. I'm ready, bro. I'm ready to get this money. I'm ready to, you know, elevate my life, ready to progress, you know. And yeah, that's really how I started, man. When I first started, I've been, you know, worked out before. Like, I went to LA Fitness a long time ago with my friend, and we started working out. But like I said, man, like, I was, you know, BSing with the workouts. I started smoking weed and getting lazy, and I didn't work out for a little while. And then, you know, I started back up, man, when certain things happened in my life, and I realized that working out is what's gonna get me through things, like, you know, because to get my energy right. So, you know, that's how I started. And that's the reason why, you know, I work out to this day, man, because it's been like my savior, man. It's been my savior. Whatever I go through, you know, if I'm feeling pain, if I'm feeling down, I'm feeling weak and this and that, I go to the gym or I hit a workout. I'm not just gonna say go to the gym. You don't even know you need a gym. You can just work out, bro. Sometimes, you know, I work out in my room. I'll do some push-ups, I'll do some crunches, and after that, I'm Gucci, man. I'm ready to take over the world. So you know, I hope you find an outlet. You know, my advice is always gonna be go work out, go hit a workout. You know, you're gonna feel better about yourself, and that's why, and that's, you know, how I started working out, man. Go get you a workout.